right stuff for hours of immersive, interactive experiences. Role-playing has evolved into a social subculture where making friends and working as a team are as important as slaying a monster or finding a gemstone. Today's RPGs offer a little something for everyone, a variety of virtual locations, rich detailed graphics, and compelling interactive stories. Now on Filter, best role-playing games.
Gamers, I'm Diane Mazzota, and this is Filter, the only show on television that features your picks for the best and sometimes the worst in computer and video games. Each week, I'll take you to the top of another list featuring gameplay video, images, and your comments. Tonight's list is made up of your picks for the best role-playing games, or RPGs as they're known. Tonight, we'll go on a quest to discover just how far the role-playing genre has evolved. But before we start, let's break down RPGs with one of the most challenging parts of any game, the big bad boss characters. So we asked gamers on the Filter forum to tell us which boss characters they loved to hate, and here they are. First up is Kefka, a behind-the-scenes evildoer and the right-hand man to diabolical Emperor Gaston. That is until he stabs him in the back and brings the world to an apocalyptic destruction. Sub-Zero wrote that he thought Dark Falls from the original Phantasy Star and Dark Force needed to be mentioned. They were the force behind all the bad things that happened in the Phantasy Star games. We got a lot of posts about Sephiroth, and why not? His big attack in Final Fantasy VII caused the solar system to explode and the sun to go supernova. Oh, and he was also just plain cold-blooded. He killed Eris, one of the nicest girls in RPG history, and torched an entire town, killing nearly everyone in it. Finally, Irenicus from Baldur's Gate 2 got votes not just for being a bad guy, but because he wanted to unlock the evil in you and absorb it for himself. He also had a soft spot for torture. What a sport. Now, back to the task at hand, finding your rankings for the best RPG games. So what is the appeal of role-playing games? G4 TV chatter Black Wolf told us that RPGs are unique because the story is the game. Your character will develop based on the choices you make. A great RPG will have a gripping story and fantastic characters. And judging by the number of players in online worlds, there are a whole lot of characters out there. Okay, it's time to get started. We've got a long journey ahead of us. And we begin at number 10 with a little man that is no stranger to adventures, Super Mario RPG, developed by Nintendo.
In Super Mario RPG Legend of the Seven Stars, Bowser has once again made off with Princess Toadstool and taken her to his castle. The tasty 3D graphics, fully rendered characters, and gorgeous landscapes won over Mario and RPG fans alike.
Super Mario RPG was a collaboration between Square, the developers of Final Fantasy, and Nintendo's Miyamoto, the creator of Mario. The game has Mario battling Bowser for the rescue of Toadstool. Although many of you told us that this wasn't a true RPG, you did feel it was worthy of the top 10. There were no disagreements about the game you rated into the number 9 spot. Sega's Panzer Dragoon Saga was the third in the Panzer Dragoon trilogy. The story is really engaging and revolves around a young boy named Edge and the mystical dragon he befriends. Epic questions of good and evil are asked, and the combat system is innovative and fun on Dragonback. A lot of you told me it was the best RPG on the Saturn. Let's take a look.
Panzer Dragoon is an immense game that fills 4 CDs. In Panzer Dragoon Saga, players will do more than fly on the back of a dragon. Many times the player will travel on foot in order to interact with townspeople. Battles are in real time and primarily take place while Edge is riding on the back of a dragon.
Dragoon came on 4 discs, packed with full-motion video cutscenes. The developers even created their own language for use in the game. We can only wonder if we'll see another Panzer Dragoon in the future. As we battle our way into the number 8 spot, all eyes are upon 3DO and their long-running RPG series. Might and Magic 4 is the one that you wanted in the top 10. And with 48 hero classes and all new skill and magic systems, the game was greatly improved over the previous versions. The game also boasted a new game engine with an isometric view and detailed landscape. Get your spells ready, we're going in.
Myself, my favorite games in the past are, I think, a lot of the role-playing games.
Might and Magic 4 has 6 full campaign games, plenty of individual scenario maps, and allows you to create your own custom scenario maps through the use of a full campaign editor.
Those of you who played the game remember exploring the maps and continents, collecting resources, and engaging the enemy in battle. Not a bad way to spend an afternoon. Okay, we're just getting started. When we come back, we'll continue our look at the best role-playing games as voted by you when Filter continues. And remember, if you want to influence future Filter episodes, just head on over to the Filterater system on the website at g4tv.com/filter. Stick around for more Filter.
What's your name?
My name is Shanny.
You a gamer?
Yo, yeah.
What's with the hat, bro? You carrying this around like you at a Laker game or something. What's the name of the game you like to play?
Oh, I like Samba de Amigo.
Samba de Amigo. It's your birthday. It's your birthday. This is what games do to your mind. G4, baby.
E302, a G4 exclusive. 1 hour of action-packed highlights from the year's biggest event. This Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern, Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern.
Hello, I'm John Early for Ideal Health, the custom health company. As Americans, we're all concerned about the difficult times that face us. Economic uncertainty, massive layoffs and corporate downsizing, dwindling retirement savings. There is a better way, and we'd like to share that with you. Ideal Health has an opportunity where you can literally begin your very own home-based national business where you can earn a substantial income even by starting part-time.
My check went from $512 to $589 to $1,301 last month.
37,000 and growing numbers on a quarterly basis.
I went from about $3,000 one quarter to $10,000 the next to now almost $20,000.
My check that month was almost $11,000.
My income is $688.
Almost $2,000, and this month I know it's well over $2,000.
$24,208.11 in 1 month. That's pretty terrific.
By offering innovative custom health products that millions of consumers need and want, you can make a lot of money to get out of life just what you want. Whether you want to just supplement your current income or make potentially serious money, Ideal Health can help make that happen right now. You can now be your own boss, make your own hours, and provide all the security and comforts your family deserves. Come and meet some of the other members in your community who've already become successful through Ideal Health, or call the number you see for free. There's absolutely no obligation for this information. It'll be an exciting time where you can learn about the incredible opportunities that wait for you with this innovative company. Imagine you can now buy that dream home, boat, or car. Imagine you never have to think whether you can afford to go to dinner or to the movies. Imagine you can retire and never worry about your family's future. That's true security, and that's what Ideal Health can do for you. Come meet us and find out just how bright your future can be.
Welcome back to Filter. I'm your game master for the journey, Diane. Tonight we're going adventuring, celebrating your picks for the best role-playing games. Before the break, we saw Super Mario RPG at number 10, Panzer Dragoon Saga at number 9, and Might and Magic 4 at number 8. That increases our completion skill level to 30%. As I mentioned earlier, one of the keys to a successful RPG is a gripping storyline, and Suikoden has it. In this early PlayStation game, you join forces with the Liberation Army to overthrow the Emperor, thus setting up a climactic and classic confrontation with your own father, who leads the Emperor's army. Although the game has cartoonish graphics, don't let that fool you. The title is wrought with deception, friendship, bravery, magic, and the battle between good and evil. Let's take a look at Konami's Suikoden at number 7.
Suikoden is a game full of betrayal, revenge, love, camaraderie. All these elements are bound together in Konami's 2D role-playing epic. In Suikoden, you are presented with a vast world to explore and lots of mysteries to solve and fighting to do. As you journey around to various towns, you will come across adventurers who want to join the fight. There are 108 total companions, otherwise known as the Stars of Destiny, to find and recruit, though you can only have a handful in your party at one time.
Suikoden boasts over 100 characters you can recruit throughout your quests and missions. You also told us you loved the epic army battles that took place in the game. The game you rated into the number 6 spot really deserves the attention. Created by Richard Garriott, aka Lord British, Ultima 4 offered a new twist to the genre. Instead of spending the game trying to build your character to defeat evil by whatever means necessary, you had to become the Avatar, a role model of sorts for the people of the land. This meant upholding the 8 virtues and basically trying to become a better person. So let's take a visit to legendary Britannia for a glimpse at Ultima 4.
Ultima 4 is an old-school role-playing game that is truly unique. It will suck you into the mythical land of Britannia for a while, and you will believe you are the hero on a quest to become the Avatar. The goal of becoming an Avatar is an interesting nuance in gaming. Rather than learning of a horrific evil sweeping the land that you alone must defeat, the quest in this edition is self-improvement.
The game keeps track of all your actions. So if you went about killing and looting like in most RPGs, you'd never finish it. That very different approach to the game's ultimate goal is what makes Ultima 4 famous so many years later, and became sort of the design philosophy that made all of the following Ultimas so unique to their genre. Okay, lots of comments and high ratings for the game that sits at number 5. Final Fantasy VII has you playing the role of Cloud in an epic saga that spanned 3 CDs of gameplay and called on both your physical and mental powers. In the game, you deal with terrorism, cross-dressing, fortune-telling, snowboarding, and the fight of Cloud's life, which takes you deep inside the planet. Oh, and if you start to hear voices in your head, don't fret, you're right on course. Cloud is also searching for his childhood hero, the legendary Sephiroth, who seems to have disappeared off the face of the planet. Let's relive the past with some scenes from Final Fantasy VII from Square.
Final Fantasy VII differs from other RPGs in that it isn't set in a world dominated by swords and sorcery. Instead, it takes place on a planet where technology has overtaken magic.
Your number 4 RPG is set right here in California, albeit 80 years after a worldwide nuclear war has occurred. The game is Fallout 2, and the story put you in situations that made you laugh and feel sorry for certain characters, even the character you play. Fallout 2 offers the traditional fare of character development and continuing storyline, but for gamers who love blood and gore, sex, violence, gambling, gangs, or almost any type of illegal activity, you will be surprised at how often, but appropriately, these items will appear. Let's get post-apocalyptic with Fallout 2 from Interplay.
Fallout 2 was almost universally heralded as 1997's best role-playing game.
There are things you must know. The village is dying. The signs are everywhere. Withering crops. Dying Brahmin. There is hope, however, a slim hope that few know of. The old discs speak of an item called the Garden of Eden Creation Kit. It is said it can bring life to the wasteland. This will be your quest.
Fallout 2 features one of the most refreshingly original worlds seen in a role-playing game.
Whatever it takes to keep this place together. Better job on it than me.
Fallout 2 represents one of the few RPG games that don't rely on medieval or fantasy worlds. But you might want to play the original Fallout before jumping into Fallout 2. Now, this is the time in the show when we pull from the filter inbox and see what you have to say. So send us your emails, and if the filter gods like your comments, we will put them on the air. The first email we have is from Alan, and he writes, I think that Parasite Eve should be on your list of RPG games. It really shows how good a console RPG can be. As a microbiology major, I applaud any game in which mitochondria try to take over the world. And finally, Clyde, the Dungeon Master, had this to say about the classics. Diane, I know you guys are all about video games, but you should take a moment to give props to the old school role-playing games that you played with a group of friends, a pencil and some paper, and a bunch of oddly shaped dice. That about wraps it up for the filter inbox, and on that note, it's time for a break. But while we're gone, see if you can use your intelligence to answer this question. 2 characters in Final Fantasy VII are named after which 2 Star Wars characters? A, C-3PO and R2-D2, B, Yoda and Obi-Wan, C, Chewbacca and Han Solo, D, Biggs and Wedge. When we come back, we're going to give you the answer and reveal the best of the best, the top 3 role-playing games as voted by you. Stick around.
Ready, reveal. Icons. Behind-the-scenes profiles of gaming legends.
Art probably saved my life.
He was always extremely bright.
This is music videos in 1980.
The industry needs its legends, right?
Next.
You'd never know it, but nearly half of today's military are National Guard and reservists. However, they can't answer our nation's call without their employer's support. If you're an employer, visit esgr.org and find out how to do your part.
Goes out to my homies!
Hey, it's PJ from Third Strike, and you're watching G4.
Don't forget, Filter doesn't work without you. So log in daily to cast your vote on these categories and suggest new filter lists for upcoming shows. Welcome back, gamers. Did you get the question right? We asked which two characters in Final Fantasy VII are named after which two Star Wars characters. And the answer is D, Biggs and Wedge. Well, it's time for the top 3 role-playing games based on your combined ratings. But before we make it to the end of our journey, let's look back at the road we traveled. At number 10, we saw The Little Plumber That Could, Super Mario RPG, followed by Panzer Dragoon Saga at number 9. We had Might and Magic 4 at number 8, Konami's Suikoden at number 7, followed by the memorable Ultima 4 at number 6. Square's Final Fantasy VII came in at number 5, and just before the break, we got a glimpse of Fallout 2 at number 4. Now it's time to roll the dice and forge ahead to the top 3 role-playing games. Let's go. Coming in at number 3 is Chrono Trigger. This is another great role-playing game from the developers at Square. But unlike the early Final Fantasy games, Chrono Trigger came with a delightful adventure, bright and beautiful backgrounds, and characters with definite flair. While it had all the standard Square battle actions, it added an exciting new feature, combo attacks. This allowed the player to use more than one character to unleash a devastating attack against multiple enemies. Chrono Trigger was released on the Super Nintendo and is considered one of the most charming RPGs to date. Let's take a look.
Trigger is wound around an intriguing storyline moving at a brisk forward pace that is definitely player-friendly, making it in all essences a very solid game. The story is the tale of an ordinary boy named Chrono who finds himself suddenly sucked into a time-traveling adventure when one of his friends, a female inventor named Luca, is taken. The movies in the game are stunning and done by the same animator who does Dragon Ball Z.
The game had almost 60 hours of gameplay and is still being played by a lot of you, according to your emails. It's time to get down to business. You rated, we ranked, and now it's time to reveal the number 2 role-playing game. Baldur's Gate 2 is the sequel to the 1998 game based on the advanced Dungeons & Dragons Forgotten Realms universe. The game features many dozens of optional quests, lots of hidden treasures and artifacts, and a very flexible character generation system. Add in the multiplayer component and you have hundreds of hours of great gameplay. So pick up your mace and prepare your spells. We're heading inside Baldur's Gate 2.
Baldur's Gate 2 is taken from 3rd edition AD&D, and now you have the opportunity to play 3 new classes, the Monk, Barbarian, and the Sorcerer. The game improved combat ability to wield dual weapons. You can also attain Grand Mastery with a specified weapon, and you have a larger selection of weapon proficiencies to choose from. The magic has gotten a facelift in more ways than one. Now there are many more spells to choose from than there were in BG. We're almost at the end of our journey, but before we target the top spot, let's take a look at a list of weird characters that you've seen in role-playing games over the years. According to Arcatan, none were weirder than the frog in Chrono Trigger. I mean, he's a frog. Okay, next was Minsk from Baldur's Gate 2. He talks to his pet hamster and thinks he is a magical being that rode a comet down to Earth. No. Teflon Juan said to include Go-Go, a masked character that would only mimic whatever move the character before him did. Go-Go was in Final Fantasy III, and you never found out if Go-Go was a he or she or it. Then, of course, there's Mallow from Super Mario RPG. Mallow looked like a giant walking marshmallow. Not exactly someone to take home to mom. Okay, bizarro characters aside, it's time to check out your #1 rated role-playing game. Final Fantasy X. There are a whole lot of reasons that Final Fantasy X is sitting at the top of this list. Square continues to push the envelope in terms of gameplay, storyline, cinematics, and battle systems. The game is very addictive and boasts nearly 100 hours of gameplay. You know it, you love it, you rated it all the way to #1, Final Fantasy X from Square. Take a look.
See, I've always been a big fan of the Final Fantasy series, probably because unlike a lot of role-playing games, they have a lot of story. And this was a really good role-playing game. Not only did it have a lot of storyline, which unfortunately a lot of RPGs lack, and they did a really good job at the PlayStation 2 using the graphics capabilities on that.
Final Fantasy X marks the end of a gameplay era as the franchise evolves into an online adventure. This is also the last of Hironobu Sakaguchi's Final Fantasy games and makes a very strong argument for being the best game the series has ever seen. The combat in the game is turn-based once again after the developers eliminated the active time combat system used in Final Fantasy IX.
That's all she wrote, gamers, but as with all filter lists, they don't end here. As new RPGs are released, they'll be added to the Filterater for your rating pleasure. Remember, there are still dozens of game-related categories to vote on for Filter. And don't forget, Filter doesn't work without you, so log on daily at g4tv.com/filter to cast your vote, suggest new filter lists for upcoming shows, or tell us your thoughts on the outcome of today's show. For Filter, I'm Diane Mazzota. Catch you next time.
My name is Brad Stecklon. I'm giving you permission to use me, to abuse me on camera. I'm not taking my clothes off. G4, you have my permission to do whatever you want to do with it.
Hi, my name is Stephen Baldwin, and I give G4's the permission to use my name and my voice and my face.
Is that cool? Did I do all right?